All right, there's a Rabbi Kalmanson. He is in Cleveland, Cleveland. And so this story
We
must
went to Cincinnati.
what Cincinnati, Cincinnati, right? Okay, good. I was close. I got the state right. And Rabbi Kalmanson, this story must have happened 50, maybe 60 years ago. One night he gets a knock on the door. Two parents, they're crying, middle of the night. It's like 2 in the morning. What do you want? Can we come in? Can we talk to you? He said, okay. So they said, listen, we're not religious people. We're Jews. We came from, I think they came from the Holocaust. And the man was blind. And the woman, his wife, she took him. What's wrong? He said, well, we found under our daughter's pillow a New Testament. I don't like to call it New Testament because it's not at all. I found a book of the Gospels. And we talked to her about it, and all of a sudden she just became a different person. She just started yelling at us and that we're going to burn in hell and that we're denying the Lord and all this stuff. And we said, what's going on? I have found the way and I am being saved and I am a sinner and I need this. And I said, we don't know what's happening. She's going crazy. And she's all we have. And not only that, we're Jews. How can she wants us to join her, to go to her meetings and to believe like she believes? Rabbi, you have to help us, please. So we said, okay, well, what can I do? What can I do? So he said, they said, talk to her. Maybe you can talk to her. Maybe you can say something to her. So he said, she's willing to talk to me. He said, oh, she just talks. She'll talk to anybody. If she thinks she has any chance of, converting you or whatever it is, then she'll talk. And so the rabbi said, okay. Said, tell her, I'm willing to listen to what she says. And she should come tomorrow at such and such. So he set up a time. And she came. And he said, I just want you to honor me, don't bring any crosses into the home. That's okay, good. So she starts talking. And she spits out all these things that everybody taught you. We're all sinners and we're going to burn and the only salvation and this and that. And he listens. And he's listening and he's listening and he's listening. He's a good listener. So he listens and he listens. And once he says, can I ask a question? Once in a while, he asks a little question. A question just to clarify things. And she talks for an hour, whatever it is. And he finishes and she says, that was very interesting what you said. She said, can we talk again, Rabbi? Yes, of course. Come tomorrow. So this goes on like 5 times or something like that. And she talks and she talks. And she's explaining all these things and fire and brimstone and all this. So after all this, and she sees, meanwhile, the rabbi is, giving her things to drink and a little bit to eat and very friendly and the whole ambience of the house. And he says, after she's finished, she says, listen, I listened to what you said, and it's very, very interesting what you have to say. He said, but I think I've been very nice. Would you be willing to listen to me just for 5 minutes? Oh, of course, Rabbi. Sure. So he starts to explain to her, what Judaism really is and what God really is. And that why what she's doing is idolatry and what idolatry is. And that idolatry is, a very natural thing for Jews. Jews like idolatry and that it's not her fault. It's not her fault. The Jews worship the golden calf and etc. But, believing in God is very, very difficult and very, really take on a big responsibility, but that's who we are. And etc. Anyway, so he's explaining, and he explains about Abraham. He tells stories and he tells jokes and he tells this and everything. So good, and he lets her talk more. She says, yes, but this and this, and there's a new way, and then he listens. He says, oh, very good. Next day he talks, and then next day he talks to her like for 10 minutes. And she's talking a little bit less. And he's not arguing. And finally, little by little, he says, listen, there's the Lubavitcher Rebbe. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, he's like the Moses of our generation. And he says, so she says, all of a sudden she changes. And she says, you say he does miracles. He can make my father see. So Rabbi Kalmanson doesn't know what to say, So he says, listen, I'm not the Rebbe, I don't know. Maybe we can write a letter to the Rebbe and we can see. So have your parents come in. So the parents come in and they write a letter. And meanwhile, he tells the parents, listen, I think that, it's worth your while maybe to put on a mezuzah on your door and to put mezuzahs on your doors in your house. I mean, you're Jews after all, and put on tefillin. The father said, that's a little bit too much putting on tefillin. Anyway, so they wrote a letter to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe wrote back a letter. This is before Gimel Talmud. The Rebbe wrote him back a letter that they should see a doctor that likes them, a family doctor that they know. Good. So they go to see a family doctor, the regular family doctor, and the doctor says, hello, you just were in for a checkup. He says, yes, we wrote to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe says that you can cure my blindness. Who? Lubavitcher? What? Who is this? What is he? He's a professor. Who is this person? That's his first name, Lubavitcher, and his last name is what? So no. He's this rabbi, this big rabbi, sits in New York. I mean, he knows anything about seeing, about optics, about it. No, he just says that you can heal our father. You can heal him. Please, somebody has the thing going over here. I don't know what it is. One minute. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. All right, please. Somebody has. Oh, here it is. Here. But you have to mute it. I just muted you. Nothing personal. Okay, here we go. So he goes to the doctor, and the doctor gets all angry. Who is this rabbi? What are you going to rabbis? The man is blind. He's totally blind. You can't see it. What am I? I'm supposed to help him. How can I help him? What are you talking about? Probably this guy wants money, probably also, right? He says, no. He wrote a letter and he said that we should go and see you. We asked about our father's blindness. I don't know what you're talking about. A couple of days later, they received a telephone call from this doctor, and he said, listen, I just read in a medical journal that there's this doctor in, I think it was even not far away from where they lived. Anyway, there's this doctor, and he has developed a way of curing the exact disease that your father has. The exact disease. I don't know if it's real. I don't know, but it's a genuine doctor. And he says, it's been checked. It's still in the basic, beginning stages, but he says that it's worked. Maybe let's call this fellow up and this doctor, and we'll talk to him. And they said, okay, good. Said, okay, you know what? I'll call him up. So he calls him up, and he says, it seems like, so he goes with the family doctor goes with them to this other doctor, and they talk it over, and the family doctor advises, I think it's worth a try. It can't hurt. So they took the father, and he went in for the operation. The whole family is there, and with the daughter also. And the father goes in for the operation. It's supposed to be an operation for like 5 hours, something like that. So after we wheel the father in, and after like a half an hour, some 20 minutes, the doctor is in the middle of operation. He comes running out of the room and he goes into his office, and the family doesn't know what's going on. And he comes out of his office and he looks at them, and with a big smile, he says, it's okay. It's all right. And an hour later, he comes out and he says, I don't understand what happened. I don't understand. I started the operation, and suddenly everything just went okay. All the problem was just gone. And we'll see what happens in another few days. He bandaged up his eyes. A couple of days later, they went to the hospital. They took off the bandages. And all of a sudden, the father lets out this scream. I can see. I see. Sees immediately the girl left her foolish ideas, and the family became observant, and they realized that there's something to this Judaism business. And according to what the story was, is that she went to one of the Chabad seminaries, and she's married, has children, a religious family. So it's a story about opening the eyes of the blind that want to see. Have a good day with Mashiach now. Okay, now you want me to sound the shofar. All right. Okay, I'll sound the shofar. You asked for it. But I'll do it in the next room and I'll cover it over and we'll see if it works. We'll find out afterwards. Ready? Here we go. First of all, I sound what's called a teruah, a takia. A takia goes, doo. Then there's what's called a shvorim. Shvorim is doo, doo, doo. And then there is a teruah. And after that, you blow another takia. Okay, so listen, ready? Here we go. Ready?
Yeah. Let's see you.
See? See?
Yes.
It's a little bit hard because my wife is speaking to somebody here. All right, I can't do it outside. Okay. I'll do it over here. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Okay.
Very good. Very good.
You heard all the words? You heard all the I'll play it back. See what you heard.
Yes, very good. Very good.
Wonderful. Okay. See you tomorrow.
Tomorrow you can come closer to the computer.
No. If it works, I say if something works, don't fix it. I will tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem, 8:15, Friday, we'll finish the Davar Malchut. Have a good day with Mashiach now. Thank you everybody for coming.